Welcome to another week. I'm excited to talk with you today when we're focused on the encouraging classroom. We're going to be focusing for the next week on the environment more and how we organize the classroom. You have a couple assignments related to this week that we will be doing as well. So the very first thing that I'd like you to do this week, and this is really circling back to what we've started or committed to a couple weeks back, was that curriculum that you chose, the SEL curriculum that you chose that has been approved through CASEL. So I'd like you to start taking notes on that chosen curriculum. I'll give you some general questions to help guide you in that. We're going to be talking this week a lot about Reggio Emilia and that place in Italy that started the movement toward a lot of things, including how to create an encouraging and a supportive and a beautiful environment for classroom learning. We're also going to be talking about general design features. So when you're going through your readings and videos this week, that's going to be the focus. It's going to be on organizing a classroom, looking more at Reggio Emilia, and then also some general design features that's going to help with children's overall social emotional wellness and wellness in general. And then based on all of this, by midweek, besides answering your discussion questions that's very related to all of these materials that you'll start looking at, you're going to create your own classroom. Each of you should do this separately based on that vision that you thought of at the beginning of the semester. So what you named, some of you named the preschool even, what was the name of your school and what did you want it to be like? Warm and welcoming. Okay, what am I going to do in the environment to make sure that the classroom feels warm and welcoming? So we're being very purposeful when we're designing our class. These are the questions when you pick a day this week to at least spend a little bit of time starting to take your notes on this. Remember, eventually you're going to do a short paper and a presentation on the curriculum that you chose. Those included curriculums like Al's Pals and the Caring Classroom and Second Step and Conscious Discipline. When you're choosing your SEL curriculum, which you've done, I want you to start researching online, going to the actual website that is that curriculum site. And then also for almost all of them, you can find some teacher lessons where they were doing that. So for instance, if I was using Second Step, I would go into YouTube and type Second Step lesson and a bunch would come up where we'd be able to see it in action as well. The things that I want you to start digging for, and this is going to be more on their website, is does it meet diverse student needs? So if you've got some students that are still learning English, some students that are gifted, some with disabilities, some that maybe have had trauma and so on, how inclusive is it? Even looking at the pictures and the puppets and the lessons and materials, does it represent a lot of different students? Or do the characters always fit just one type of student, right? Look at how the lessons are set up, and that's where you might view on the program website and then also on YouTube. What does the research say about its effectiveness? We know that each of these do have some research. Otherwise, CASEL wouldn't have supported that. So what is the research that says it supports the social emotional learning of those students? Here's a big one. It's really important that we collaborate and do things with the families and with the parents and with the community. So what opportunities are there for that? And then what parts of the program do you think would be fun or engaging or students would like a lot? Or if you start looking at it and you think, oh, this looks a little boring, what's not making it feel fun and engaging? This is a little preview of what you're going to be looking at this week. These are some pictures of some classrooms that are much more organized than a lot of others, right? I wanted to notice that in the first picture on the top, this is Reggio Emilia classroom. Montessori classrooms do this much more as well. We know that natural lighting, whenever possible, is very uh, much better for social emotional wellness and the wellness of students. A lot of times, I believe in your class and in many classrooms, we're stuck with the fluorescent lights, which is shown on the bottom picture, but there are ways to dull and kind of mute and make those lighting aspects a bit less kind of bright and fluorescenty. Notice how materials and furniture and shelves can be used to separate different types of spaces. So that could separate out book spaces or quiet corners or more busy and active corners. Notice that there's a lot more natural furnishing, so it's not so bright as a lot of classrooms. We know that less is more. There's definitely more than enough in each of these classes still. When we're thinking about students, remember you made your picture schedules the other day. It's great to see those. They should be pretty low where students can actively see them and look at them and have less high up materials. Anything that's at eye level for the younger kids is going to be helpful as well. And then, as I mentioned before, less is more. So in both of these classes, there might still be things that you'd like to see less of. Um, but they're definitely less busy than many. So you're going to be starting to think about this, and you're going to see lots of good examples of what classrooms can be set up like. And then you're going to design your own. So you could do this with paper and pencil and colored pencils. You can do that with computer programs. You could do that by cutting out pictures in magazines. But I want you to create your own classroom that fits with that vision that you created for your preschool at the beginning. So you came up with your preschool. Now let's draw or sketch out what that looks like. You're going to type a one-page paper to go with it that explains how you were creating an encouraging and supportive classroom and what you did in different areas of your classroom to support that. You might want to refer back to Castle or information specifically from this week that you took from your learnings. I look forward to seeing your classes. I hope you have fun with these projects this week, and I'll see you again in another week. Take care.